okay.
All right.
And thank you everyone for your patience. As we go, we'll be identifying challenges. How do we solve them? We are here, academicians, entrepreneurs. These are some of the, avenues we can see what gap is there in Africa. How do we solve it? Now we have gotten a first-hand experience. Internet is an issue. So what do you think should be done, or how can we solve this? Please let me see your answers in the chat box. Don't feel as if something is happening. No, we are still on track. And our next speaker is Professor Charles Igwe. He was appointed Vice-Chancellor of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, in 23rd May 2019. He's a fellow Nigerian Academy of Science. Prior to that, he was a professor consultant in the Department of Soil Sciences in the Faculty of Agricultural Sciences, a position he held for over 14 years. He was appointed Deputy Vice-Chancellor on 28th April 2016, and he was reappointed in 2018. Professor Igwe's research focuses on the contribution of organic and mineral colloids in stability of tropical soils. He contributed significantly in the knowledge of stability of unstable tropical soils, which undergo catastrophic soil erosion with intensive tropical rainfall. In the face of global climate change, he expanded the scope of his research to include the carbon in tropical soils. In his search to unravel inherent soil factors influencing factors of erosion models, he published some pioneering works on social colloidal dispersion. He's an author and co-author of many peer-reviewed articles in reputable journals. Because of due to his unavoidable circumstances and duties that comes with his office, he's being represented by Professor Anene Moneke, a professor of environmental and industrial microbiology. He is the director, Center for Environmental Management and Control, University of Nigeria, the chair occupant of Shell GV Endowment Chair in Environmental Management and Control at UNN, and the coordinator of all UNN collaboration with Chinese University and Research Institute. In African Union, youth participation, engagement, and inclusion is a big thing and a theme that they even came up with, 1 million by 2020. They came up with another one, they surpassed that, and they came up with 1 million next level. They want to reach out as to many youth as they can. So here comes a topic or a question, for our professor. Can vice-chancellors in African universities champion youth engagement and participation in creation of the Africa we want, enshrined in the AU Agenda 2063? Welcome, Professor.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone from Nigeria.
Good afternoon, Professor.
Yeah, may I start by thanking the organizers of this event for inviting my Vice-Chancellor, Professor Charles Igwe, Fellow of Nigerian Academy of Science, to participate in this conversation. He feels highly honored and grateful for the invitation. He looked forward to participating in this conversation. The exigencies of office have made it impossible. He has therefore directed me to apologize for his absence and to represent him in this conversation. So it's my pleasure to be here. Like the moderator said, I'm Professor Anene Moneke, a staff of the University of Nigeria. My Vice-Chancellor's topic for this conversation is a question. How can Vice-Chancellors of African universities champion youth engagement and participation in creation of the Africa we want as enshrined in the AU Agenda 2063? And he has answered as follows. The African Union AU Agenda 2063 is Africa's development blueprint and strategic framework to achieve inclusive and sustainable social economic development over a 50-year period. It is envisaged to transform the African continent into a global powerhouse through Pan-Africanism and African Renaissance. The AU Agenda 2063 encapsulates not only Africans' aspirations for the future, but also identifies critical flagship initiatives that will enhance Africa's economic growth and development, thus leading to rapid transformation of the continent. Youth development is one of the key objectives covered by the AU Agenda 2063. For Africa, with a youth population of over 60%, that contributes about 36.9% of the workforce, the inclusion of youth into mainstream continental policy frameworks is inevitable if we want to achieve a prosperous and united Africa. One sure way to unlock and engage the potentials of these youth is by honing their skills through education. Fortunately for us, most African families place great premium on education. Historically, African families always strive to ensure that their children are educated. Despite these challenges being experienced in the education sector across the continent, like we see the internet and network challenge we just experienced with the Professor Thornbury, literature rates continue to grow exponentially for youth, both females and males in Africa. The increasing number of young people enrollment in schools presents a huge opportunity for our leaders, especially managers of tertiary institutions, to support and tap the energies of these young ones to create the critical mass necessary for African Renaissance and a better future. These increased higher education enrollment figures have led to the establishment of more higher institutions in Africa, which is good for the continent. Our vice-chancellors and leaders in these institutions must think out novel ways to constructively engage these teeming youth to contribute their quotas towards actualizing the AU Agenda 2063. And this will ultimately be of benefit to everyone. Some of the ways may include: one, aligning national policies with AU Agenda 2063. The policies of various African countries have linkages with the AU Agenda 2063, while the AU Agenda 2063 has linkages with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Beyond circular provisions of learning experiences, African vice-chancellors and leaders of institutions of higher learning will do our continent a lot of good by coming up with initiatives that capitalize on the trust these students have for us, their teachers, at this their impressionable stage of life. Engage them in critical, disruptive conversations on how to transform our continent. This will channel their thoughts and energies towards the diverse continental and global frameworks that influence economic growth on a global scale. The students who appreciate and understand these alignments will definitely think differently after their career paths thereafter. Another way is exposing them to continental level opportunities. The AU Agenda 2063 continuously provides opportunities for African regional integration and cross-national exchanges. For example, the African Continental Free Trade Area, ACFTA, is designed to ease free movement of goods and services in the continent. The sure outcome of this will be that students who graduate from institutions where the leaders have initiatives that place emphasis on continental level engagements will be more aware of existing continental opportunities, thereby expanding their career options. Another area is ease of influence. Experience has shown that due to the elasticity of the minds of students at this stage, they are easily inspired and motivated towards action. Just like our parents, the vice-chancellors and managers of higher institutions can leverage this huge advantage to motivate our young ones to explore ways to contribute to the advancement of the AU Agenda 2063 based on knowledge. We should note that the first 10-year implementation plan of AU Agenda 2063 will come to an end in 2023. There is therefore an urgent need for us to engage and motivate our youths immediately through robust conversations on and interrogation of the AU Agenda 2063 for the realizations of its aspirations. Only well-engaged and motivated youths can participate and make positive contributions for the good of the continent. Finally, I wish to congratulate the Organization of African Academic Doctors, OAAD, and other partner organizations for setting up the African Competency-Based Precision Citizen Participation Initiative. I pray it becomes a creative avenue for enhancing citizens' participation in our continental affairs. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Professor Charles A. Igwe, FAS. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Moneke, for presenting on behalf of Professor Charles. And thank you for even calls of action, explaining to us the importance of youth inclusion, participation, and how academia plays an important role. In the history of Africa, most of our movements, comes, it goes back to academia from Pan-Africanism, So this is a very important part of the conversation for the development of Africa. Once